On this day in history, we remember the remarkable individuals who shaped our world. Welcome to Who Died Today in History, where we honor their legacies. From artists to leaders, their impact lives on. If you find their stories meaningful, like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay connected.
Thank you to all our amazing channel members for your generous support.
Some voices make us laugh, some faces feel like home, and some people quietly become part of our lives forever. Joyce Randolph was born on October 21, 1924, in Detroit, Michigan. As a teenager, she dreamed not of comedy, but of opera. She studied singing at Wayne State University and once believed her future would be on a grand musical stage, not a television screen. Her life changed in the early 1950s when she was cast as Trixie Norton on the classic sitcom The Honeymooners. As the warm, witty wife of Ed Norton, she balanced sharp humor with gentle charm. The show ran briefly but became legendary through reruns, making her face unforgettable. She later appeared in films like It's a Mad, 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 Mad World and on Broadway in productions such as The Music Man, proving she could shine far beyond one famous role. Off-screen, Joyce Randolph was softer than her television persona. She loved painting and often spent quiet hours creating art at home. In 1965, she married actor Richard Lincoln, and they stayed together until his death in 1997. She never had children, but she often said her fans felt like extended family, people who had grown up laughing with her. Joyce Randolph died on January 13, 2024, at the age of 99. She passed away peacefully in New York City from natural causes. Nearly a full century of life had carried her from radio days to black and white television, and all the way into the streaming age. When news of her death spread, tributes poured in from actors, comedians, and longtime fans. Many said she represented a kinder, simpler era of entertainment. Television networks replayed The Honeymooners, and viewers watched again as Trixie smiled, teased, and stood strong beside Ed. For many, it felt like losing an old friend. Today, Joyce Randolph is remembered as one of television's original sitcom wives. She helped define what comedy could look like in American living rooms. Her timing was perfect, her expressions unforgettable, and her warmth genuine. New generations still discover her through reruns, laughing at jokes written more than 70 years ago, and still working. She showed that you don't need to be loud to be powerful, or flashy to be unforgettable. Sometimes all it takes is honesty, heart, and a smile that feels like home. Some people chase danger, others become it. Robbie Knievel lived his life in midair, between fear and freedom. Robbie Knievel was born on May 7, 1962, in Butte, Montana. He was the son of legendary daredevil Evel Knievel. As a child, he grew up around the motorcycles, ramps, and roaring crowds. By age 8, he was already riding bikes. Danger didn't scare him. It felt familiar. He stepped into the spotlight in the late 1980s, determined to prove he was more than just a famous last name. In 1989, he made his first major televised jumps. Soon, he was leaping over helicopters, buildings, and massive lines of trucks. One of his most famous stunts came in 1999 when he jumped over 30 limousines in Las Vegas. He later broke his father's world record by jumping 50 cars in 2003. Over his career, he completed more than 350 major jumps, earning his own place in stunt history. Away from the ramps, Robbie was quieter than people expected. He loved fishing and spending time outdoors. He once said the silence of nature helped calm the noise of his dangerous career. He had a complicated relationship with his father, marked by both pride and pressure. But near the end of Evel Knievel's life, the two reconciled, healing old wounds that fame and rivalry had opened. Robbie Knievel died on January 13, 2023, at the age of 60. He passed away in Reno, Nevada, after a battle with pancreatic cancer. His family said he was surrounded by loved ones. The man who spent his life cheating death finally met it quietly, far from roaring engines and flashing cameras. When news of his death broke, tributes came from athletes, entertainers, and fans around the world. Many called him fearless. Others said he was humble, despite living such a wild life. Old clips of his jumps flooded social media, reminding people how often he risked everything just to fly for a few seconds. Today, Robbie Knievel is remembered as more than Evel's son. He was a legend in his own right. He modernized stunt jumping for a new generation. He showed that courage isn't inherited, it's built, jump by jump, fall by fall. His name now stands beside the greatest daredevils who ever lived. He lived in the air, faced fear head-on, and taught the world that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is to leap. He turned illusion into wonder, danger into beauty, and the impossible into a nightly miracle watched by millions around the world. Siegfried Fischbacher was born on June 13, 1939, in Rosenheim, Germany. As a child during wartime, he found comfort in books about magic and fantasy. By his teens, he was already performing simple magic tricks, dreaming of a life that felt larger than the ruins around him. His life changed when he met Roy Horn while working on a cruise ship in the 1950s. Together, they created a style no one had seen before, mixing classic illusion with exotic animals. Their big break came in Las Vegas in the 1980s. Soon, Siegfried and Roy were headlining at the Mirage, performing to sold-out crowds. Their white tigers and lions became symbols of Vegas itself. For years, they were among the highest-paid entertainers in the world. Away from the stage, Siegfried was gentle and thoughtful. He loved gardening and classical music. He filled his home with flowers and rare plants, saying nature gave him the same sense of magic as the stage. While Roy was known for bold energy, Siegfried was the calm center, the quiet dreamer who shaped the beauty behind every illusion. Siegfried Fischbacher died on January 13, 2021, at the age of 81. He passed away in Las Vegas, Nevada, after battling pancreatic cancer. His death came just months after Roy Horn had also passed away. The two, who had spent a lifetime together in magic, were now reunited in memory. When news spread, tributes poured in from around the world. Magicians, celebrities, and fans thanked him for a lifetime of wonder. Las Vegas landmarks dimmed their lights. Old performances filled television and social media, reminding people how he once made lions disappear and dreams appear. Today, Siegfried is remembered as more than a magician. He was a visionary who changed live entertainment. He proved that fantasy could feel real. He showed that beauty, danger, and elegance could exist in the same moment. His work inspired generations of performers to dream bigger. Even now, when people think of magic in Las Vegas, they think of white tigers, bright lights, and a man who believed wonder should never grow old. He didn't just perform magic, he lived it, breathed it, and left it glowing in the hearts of everyone who ever believed. He could make a whole room smile with one line, one look, one perfectly timed, gentle joke that lingered. Dick Gautier was born on October 30th, 1931, in Culver City, California. As a teenager, he worked at Disneyland, playing Pluto and Goofy, learning how to speak without words. Those long days in costume taught him timing, patience, and how to connect with strangers through simple, joyful performance that felt like real magic to a young dreamer in training there. His big break came on Broadway in 1960 when he played Albert Peterson in Bye Bye Birdie. Audiences loved him. The role made him a star. When the show became a movie in 1963, he brought the same charm to the big screen. Soon, television followed. He appeared on shows like Get Smart, Mr. Ed, and starred as Robin Hood in Mel Brooks's comedy series When Things Were Rotten. Later, he even became a superhero in the light-hearted series Mr. Terrific. Wherever he went, his style stayed the same: kind, funny, and effortlessly warm. Offstage, Dick was quieter than his roles. He loved painting and spent years working as an artist after stepping away from acting. Many fans were surprised to learn that he had exhibited his artwork and taken it seriously. For him, creativity didn't belong to just one stage. It lived everywhere he did. Dick Gautier died on January 13, 2017. He was 85 years old. He passed away from natural causes at his home in Arcadia, California. There was no sudden drama, just a gentle ending to a life that had given so much light to others. When news of his death spread, fellow actors and fans shared stories filled with smiles. Old clips of his performances resurfaced. People remembered how safe and happy his comedy made them feel. Not loud, not cruel, just kind. Today, Dick Gautier is remembered as one of television's most comforting faces. He represented a time when comedy was soft, clever, and human. He showed that you didn't need shock to be funny. You just needed heart. His work still brings calm laughter to new generations who discover him late, but love him instantly. Some people leave behind noise. Others leave behind warmth. Dick Gautier left behind a quiet smile that still lives on. He didn't just tell jokes. He bent television itself, turning screens into playgrounds where logic took a joyful holiday. Ernie Kovacs was born on January 23, 1919, in Trenton, New Jersey. As a child, he suffered serious heart problems and spent long months in hospitals, learning to entertain himself with imagination. That quiet boy, forced to dream while lying still, would grow into a man who made the whole world move differently. His rise began in the early days of television when rules barely existed. Hosting shows in Philadelphia and later on NBC and ABC, he created visual comedy no one had ever seen. Silent gags, strange camera tricks, talking puppets, and floating heads. His show, The Ernie Kovacs Show, won critical praise and changed what TV could be. He also crossed into film, appearing in movies like Bell, Book, and Candle, and later filming scenes for It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. Comedy suddenly looked smarter and weirder and unforgettable. Behind the scenes, Ernie was nothing like his chaos. He loved cigars, classical music, and quiet moments. He was deeply in love with his wife, singer and actress Edie Adams, who often appeared in his work. He collected odd gadgets and wrote thoughtful essays about creativity. The clown, it turned out, had a philosopher's heart. Ernie Kovacs died on January 13, 1962. He was just 42 years old. On a rainy night in Los Angeles, his car skidded on wet pavement and struck a utility pole. He died instantly. A man who made millions laugh was gone in a moment of silence. The news stunned the entertainment world. Fellow comedians spoke of him as a genius. Television stations replayed his sketches. Fans wrote letters saying he had changed how they saw humor. Even those who didn't always understand him knew they had witnessed something rare. Today, Ernie Kovacs is remembered as a pioneer. Many modern comedians, writers, and directors quietly borrow from his ideas. Visual comedy, absurd timing, humor without words. He showed that laughter could be art, that television could be playful, poetic, and bold all at once. Some people fit into the world, others reshape it. Ernie Kovacs reshaped laughter, and even in silence, his echoes still smile. She stood beside the greatest silent clown of all time, yet her own quiet magic helped make cinema learn how to feel. Edna Purviance was born on October 21, 1895 in Paradise Valley, Nevada. She grew up far from movie sets, studying music and hoping for a calm life. By chance, she met Charlie Chaplin in 1915, and that single meeting changed film history forever. She became Chaplin's leading lady in more than 30 films, including The Tramp, The Immigrant, and Easy Street. While Chaplin made audiences laugh, Edna made them care. Her soft expressions and emotional timing gave heart to his comedy. When sound films arrived, she stepped back from acting, but not from filmmaking. Chaplin trusted her deeply, and she became a creative voice behind the scenes, helping shape his stories even when she was no longer on screen. Away from cameras, Edna lived quietly. She never married, but she formed close friendships, especially with Chaplin, who supported her financially for life. She loved reading, gardening, and long walks. While the world remembered her as a screen beauty, those close to her said she was thoughtful, shy, and happiest far from attention. Edna Purviance died on January 13, 1958. She was 62 years old. She passed away in Hollywood, California, after a long struggle with throat cancer. The woman who once spoke through silent glances lost her voice at the very end, in a cruel twist of fate. News of her death brought sadness to classic film lovers. Charlie Chaplin was deeply affected and paid for her funeral, just as he had quietly cared for her through the years. Old film magazines wrote tributes, reminding readers that without Edna, many of Chaplin's greatest films would not have touched hearts the same way. Today, Edna Purviance is remembered as the emotional soul of silent comedy. She showed that you don't need words to tell the deepest stories. Her eyes spoke. Her pauses mattered. Her presence made laughter feel human. In a world that often remembers the loudest stars, Edna Purviance remains a gentle reminder that sometimes the softest light lasts the longest. He often played tough men and dangerous souls, but behind the rough face lived a gentle heart few ever truly saw. Joe Spinell was born on January 28, 1936, in New York City. He grew up in a working-class Italian-American family and once dreamed of becoming a priest before turning to acting. As a young man, he studied drama and worked odd jobs, including driving a taxi while chasing auditions. His big break came in the early 1970s. He appeared in The Godfather as Willie Chichi, one of the men tangled in the Corleone family's violent world. Soon after, audiences saw him in Rocky as Gazzo, the gruff but loyal loan shark who believed in Rocky before the world did. He also worked with Martin Scorsese in Taxi Driver and later in Cruising, becoming known as the go-to actor for gritty, unforgettable characters. In 1980, he shocked audiences by starring in the horror film Maniac, a role that showed how deeply he could disappear into dark, broken minds. Off-screen, Joe was nothing like the men he played. Friends said he was warm, funny, and deeply sensitive. He loved old movies, cooking for people he cared about, and talking about acting for hours. But he also struggled. His weight, health problems, and emotional ups and downs followed him for years. He once said that acting was the only place he felt truly understood. Joe Spinell died on January 13, 1989. He was just 52 years old. He passed away from a heart attack in his apartment in New York City. The city that shaped him also became the place where his story quietly ended. The news hit Hollywood hard. Actors who worked with him spoke of his kindness and loyalty. Sylvester Stallone called him a man with a big heart, hidden behind a tough shell. Fans of cult cinema mourned deeply, especially those who saw how brave his performance in Maniac truly was. Today, Joe Spinell is remembered as one of the great character actors. He didn't chase fame, he chased truth. Whether playing a gangster, a trainer, or a lonely soul, he made every role feel real. Filmmakers and fans still talk about how he could steal a scene with just his voice, his eyes, or a single line. He proved that even the darkest roles can be played by someone full of light, and that sometimes the strongest hearts beat behind the roughest faces. Some voices feel like velvet, some faces feel timeless, and some lives leave a quiet echo that never truly fades. Margaret Leighton was born on February 26, 1922, in Barnt Green, Worcestershire, England. As a child, she loved poetry and classical music, and she began performing on stage while still a teenager, astonishing audiences with her maturity. Her rise was steady and powerful. In the 1940s, she became one of Britain's most respected stage actresses, performing Shakespeare with emotional precision. In 1952, she crossed to Broadway and won a Tony Award for her haunting performance in Separate Tables. Film soon followed. In 1971, she reached a career peak with The Go-Between, earning a Golden Globe for her quiet, heartbreaking portrayal of a woman trapped by the class and time. Away from the spotlight, Margaret was deeply private. She loved literature, long walks, and quiet evenings with music. Few people knew that she had been battling multiple sclerosis for many years, often performing through pain and exhaustion without letting audiences see her struggle. Margaret Leighton died on January 13, 1976. She was only 53 years old. She passed away from complications related to multiple sclerosis at a hospital in London, England. Her death came far too early, just as she was entering what many believed would be her greatest artistic period. The news stunned the theater and film world. Fellow actors spoke of her discipline and grace. Critics wrote that Britain had lost one of its finest dramatic voices. Fans sent letters, flowers, and poems, remembering how her performances had moved them in ways they could never forget. Today, Margaret Leighton is remembered as a master of subtle emotion. She never needed loud gestures. A look, a pause, a breath was enough. Students of acting still study her work to learn how silence can speak louder than words. Her performances remain alive, still aching, still beautiful. She proved that true artistry does not shout, it whispers, and even in silence, her voice continues to be heard.